Many solutions already exist that help tackle poor thermal performance, yet some architects and builders are still not making the most of these opportunities to build back better. How can we get these vital parts of the industry to adopt better practices, measures and materials?
The role of IMA really is to try and ensure that the information that supports the use of these materials, the PIR insulation, is understood by specifiers, architects and the like. We produce a number of pieces of information. One of the main publications that we've been behind in the last year or so was a publication called Insulation for Sustainability, and that goes into a great deal of detail that I would recommend anybody who's interested in this to look up, and it can be found on our website. So there is information out there. The important thing is understanding the best materials for the job, but clearly it's materials working together in combination that will create the buildings that we want for the future.
It's quite interesting because there is a conversation obviously that the government's having with the public, and the public are beginning to learn that they need to do things more efficiently. But that conversation also does need to be had obviously within the industry, with architects who maybe their key goal might be slightly different, but trying to persuade them what's the best route to do that?
Buildings need to reach a certain performance level. So when you build a building, the building has to meet a whole range of criteria, which includes fire safety, thermal performance, ventilation, energy efficiency, comfort, a whole range of those. You can do all of those. You don't have to compromise one for the sake of another. And therefore, having the full suite of knowledge about what is available as far as the products are concerned is an essential starting point. So we have the targets, and there are ways of measuring that. So we have to have compliance and inspection before those buildings are released onto the market to ensure they meet the standard that is necessary.
Should there be more rigid guidelines set by the government?
We have guidelines, so we have the building regulations. We're also about to launch the Future Homes and the Future Building Standard, which will come in 2025. So we have the standards. What we have to do is make sure that we build to those standards. And there's been too many opportunities in the past where loopholes have allowed buildings to be built to a lower standard. So that's the key thing. First of all, set the standards, absolutely, and they should be ratcheted up over the coming years and decades. But on the other side of that is to ensure that those standards are met, and that needs very good compliance, and it needs very good inspection and inspectors with teeth to make it happen. But it's closing the gap between the promise and the reality. What we all do is we all have an onus to ensure that we're building to the standard that's required, that it's inspected correctly, and that we make the most of the products that are available that will be there to do the job of making buildings much more energy efficient for the future generation. The information is out there. I mean, the guide is on our website, and we're also open to questions. People want to get in touch with us to find out more about the use of insulation and the role that it plays in thermal performance of our buildings.